Hey guys, welcome back to my podcast, How Did We Get Here? Today I'm talking to Zoe.
Hi!
And we're going to be talking about her college career path. So, to get us started, how did you get here? And can you share a quick snapshot of what your life looks like right now?
Yes, absolutely. So, I originally attended a community college in Bellevue, Washington. I got my associates there, just a general arts and science one. I at the time didn't know specifically what I wanted to do or pursue as a major. I remember just being anywhere from oh my gosh, an equine neurologist to oh gosh, marketing, something very, I just really needed to narrow it down.
Mm-hmm.
So going to this community college really helped me just get a feel for what classes interest me. And so that was then starting in 2022 when I graduated high school. And then snapshot to now, I'm a senior at the College of Business with Nilo. We're in marketing together. And I'm pursuing an accounting degree with also obtaining a certificate in digital media marketing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of where we're at.
Perfect. All right, back in high school, what did you picture life after graduation would be like?
Oh my gosh. To be perfectly transparent, I've honestly always thought I'd just go to a community college after high school. My mom worked in sales and my dad works for government. He's a fireman and still is. So both two very that corporate world and then the government job. So two very different fields. So but I always felt myself pretty drawn to my mom and her corporate life and sales, something business related. So I just figured, okay, I'll go to a community college and I'll pursue a business degree. So I kind of had honestly no idea where how that 4 years would play out. So I started baby steps. I went to the community college first and then assumed I would figure it out from there, which I did.
Yeah.
So I just trusted the process. So yeah.
Okay, so after graduating, what influenced your first big step?
Well, my parents were very supportive and honest in any career path I wanted to pursue. If I wanted to go the 4-year route, they were on board. If I wanted to stay closer to home, they were super on board because they wanted me to stay close by. So going to the community college was actually good news for them because they're like, Zoe can still live at home. She can still I can help them out, and of course, while attending college. So they also were super supportive if my sister and I wanted to pursue military, so they were open to anything. They just wanted to make sure we were, if we are gonna go to college, we're gonna get good grades and be responsible. So
yeah, of course.
But yeah, they were super supportive since I already was associated with Bellevue College by taking college in high school, so it was a pretty easy process.
That's good. Okay, now we'll talk more about your college journey.
Mm-hmm.
What made you want to start at a 2-year college?
Yes, so I would say one of the big factors was just the cost of tuition. It was very affordable. It was a quarter basis too, so I had as part of the Washington Undergraduate Exchange, which also applied at the community college I was at. So that was very helpful. Saved a ton of money with that, and tuition itself was already cheaper compared to a regular 4-year university. So I would say cost, and then also just location, the convenience of it. So it was a 25-minute drive, very direct, and I could still also live at home, so I didn't have to pay for rent or other utilities, and mainly my money would go towards just the gas and the groceries and here and there things.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Okay, how did you decide when and where to transfer?
yes, so I kind of just figured after getting the associate's degree, it would be 2 years, so after the 2-year mark I would start looking just at 4 years that I could transfer to finish off my junior and senior year and then get the full bachelor degree. But I'd say towards the end of my freshman year in the community college, I started looking, and what made me land on University of Montana was my family and we've camped at the KOA in Missoula a bunch of times, so we'd always be passing through on I-90. So one year when I was going to visit my sister, we just decided to stop in as we were passing through, and I took a tour, and I just really like fell in love with the campus vibe and the community, just the the Western aesthetic, because I'm an equestrian, so it really drew me here, and just got a good feeling, and I was like, I'm gonna transfer to this school. So that's kind of what made me come to University of Montana.
Yay! Next, what are the biggest differences between the 2-year college and your 4-year college experiences?
Good question. So obviously a lot of people that I've talked to in terms of like who've started, you probably as well, in like a community college, it's a lot tighter knit, or you get all sorts of walks of life, which is great, but it's hard to build that community because most people that go there have to leave after because they have a family or they have a job, or it's they've got night classes, and that's they can only come there at certain windows of time. So that's kind of the stereotype, and I would say like the biggest difference is that sense of community, because there is like housing on campus at the community college that I'm at, but it was more so for like the international students, and the majority of students were just commuters.
Yes.
So didn't stick around very long. That's the stereotype, and one of the biggest differences, I would say. But for me personally, my community college did a really good job of like having like parties, get-togethers. Like they had Halloween parties. There's like a DJ night or something. They have Hispanic Heritage Month. They had the whole cookout, and they had mariachis come, and like a big food banquet. And I mean, I was very active. It's more of just how you make the experience. So you have to, if you want to like, be more involved on campus, you have to actively go out and like, find these groups, because there's actually a lot. There's a whole list, at least on my college's website. But I was part of like a business leadership club, which ultimately also helped me narrow down my like degree and like what I wanted to pursue. But they also had like a big tutoring club. So like during, finals week, they'd have a study jam. Everyone would get there. There'd be food. There's so much food. That's the way to a college student's heart. So like, so yeah, like I'd say community, but again, I feel like my experience was really different. It's just like what you make it and kind of what you're looking for. So, but yeah, community. And I would say, I don't say just say that. I'd say the process has been, it feels pretty similar so far. Like I adapted really, really quick to University of Montana.
That's good.
From the community college, so.
Good. Next, did transferring affect your major goals or perspectives?
I would say, so my associate's degree, the general one, was a direct transfer agreement, which meant like it partnered with certain universities, and the credits were like guaranteed to transfer. But of course there's always like those classes you might have to like take additionally at the university that's specific to the major. But so all my classes like transferred, which was great. I know a couple of transfer students I've talked to, a couple of them didn't, and then they'd have to like extend their time at the university for like another year or semester. But mine were thankfully good. I only had to take an additional business law class because that was just due to the community college being a quarter system and then university being a semester. So it was like I kind of had like halfway done in the like quarter system, but like at the university it was not full, like just it was like the 3 series were in one kind of. So because it was like a series, kind of like counting series, at least at the community college, for accounting classes as well. But I'd say just a couple of those classes I've had to take has not affect like my like expected graduation date. The only thing that was affecting that is just switching like a major, which makes sense. So just one more semester. But perspective, I would say like overall just positive. Like the transfer, like the community college was very like they knew students that were there some of them were only there for just to get their associate's degree, so they were fully in support of like them coming there for a time being and then leaving. So very like encouraging, and they weren't trying to just keep you there, right? Like just anything to keep you at Bellevue College. Like they were very understanding and encouraging and supportive. So and then coming to the University of Montana, I've thankfully had a really good experience with like advisors and professors so far. So like establishing those relationships here and building those roots. So very good so far. So no complaints here.
Good. All right. What challenges did you face in the process?
I'd say the biggest thing, which is like normal, of course, for every student that's like moving away from home for the first time, I was very homesick. I like, I don't know, I accepted that I wasn't, like I can't, just go drive home like I did in Bellevue College, 25 minutes away. Of course, it's like, 8 hours away, a day's drive. So, but definitely very good for me, and of course anyone for establishing like responsibility and independence for the first time. It just was delayed for me because I didn't transfer until junior year versus like the freshmen that are coming. That's when they experience that homesickness. So I'm pretty sure it was like this for you too. Like it was just delayed a little bit, but yeah. So just living on my own, like fully away. Can't just go drive home if I have a problem. So typical stuff like that. So that was hard in adapting. Away from home for the first time. I also would say, I think also just maybe like the classes, like I was saying, as a challenge, like it is always stressful, like not knowing if a class will transfer or not. I remember having to get the like office, the registrar approve some classes, so that really stressed me out because I was like, I do not want to be paying additional money for a class I've already taken. So that thankfully was resolved, but I remember like it kind of freaking me out a bit. So yeah, those would be my 2 challenges, I'd say.
So to wrap it up, what's been the best part of transferring for you?
Best part, you get to experience like 2 colleges versus just one, which I, looking back now, like just the people I've met at the community colleges, like some are like just the tutor I would see every day while I was taking calculus or like the math statistics courses. And just like the younger students too, like a lot of international students from the Congo, I like befriended, and just like to this day I still like keep in touch with them, and I almost like want to go back home and like visit them and just check in, because seriously, like the close-knit community at the community college is something I'll never forget. So getting to experience that, and then come here and then also meet wonderful people at the university, it's just like the family just grows, it's like why not expand the family if you can, versus just experiencing at one college. But no hate, of course, to anyone who goes the 4-year routes, whatever works for you, and whatever the future holds. So yeah.
Okay, last question. What advice would you give someone thinking about starting at a community college before transferring to a 4-year college?
I would say just go for it, because it's difficult to try to narrow down exactly what you want to do. Community college gives you that safety net where you can figure out what classes interest you, maybe what clubs to join, all of that jazz, without going into major student debt. So it's cost effective, and a good community college will have a thriving community and set their students up for like success in their academic journey and careers beyond. Even if it's small, or people will say like stereotypical, like it's maybe less vibrant, there's not a lot going on, it's kind of, what's the point of going to community college, just kind of getting in and getting out. Well, a good one will have we'll have a good community, and at the end of the day, it's what the student does to make the most of it, and to proactively go out and seek those clubs, or to maybe make a study group, and to just actively meet new people. So kind of makes or breaks the experience for you. But so I would say, as like advice, like make friends in your classes, get to know your professors. Another advantage is like the classrooms are smaller and more personalized, so using that advantage to learn your material is ideal, and it's also a less hectic setting versus getting into a bigger like lecture hall in university. So use that to your advantage. So make those ties.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of How Did We Get Here? And thank you, Zoe, for sharing your transfer journey.
No problem.
Next time, I'll be talking to Lainey and her experience of taking college classes in high school.